Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Orson Welles in the prequel to the Third Man motion picture, The Lives of Harry Lime. This episode of the program, originally broadcast April 4th, 1952, Cherchez La Gem.
Presenting Orson Welles as the Third Man. The Lives of Harry Lime. The fabulous stories of the immortal character originally created in the motion picture The Third Man, with zither music by Anton Karas.
I always say money isn't everything. That's what I say. I don't mean it to. In fact, I've always considered it a generous basis for a deal. I take the money and you take the rest. What's that? You don't agree? Well, listen to this story. It all began on a boat. And there was a girl involved. Surprised? My doctor always tells me there's nothing like a quiet sea voyage to put you on your feet. My experience is just the reverse. Besides, the sea always makes me sick.
And now, Orson Welles as Harry Lime, the Third Man, in Cherchez La Gem.
It all began on a slow boat to China. And I mean a slow boat to China. Just like the song, only without the music. We were only a couple of days out of San Francisco, and in a while there'd be Honolulu, and I'd be getting off, but not yet, not in the middle of the Pacific. And I was so bored, I was almost tempted to try. That's how come I paid so much attention to that couple. Just another married couple. He wasn't much, face very pale. That's about all you could remember. But his young wife had a very attractive manner, among her other assets. We caught each other's eye once or twice, which didn't seem to bother her much, except in a nice way, and we got acquainted the next night. They were always quarreling, the couple, this cute little thing and Mr. Paleface. I don't know why. Whenever I saw them, they were in the midst of some kind of squabble, and now at the ship's bar, Mr. Paleface, darn fool that he was, picked himself up and walked off, leaving her there. Now, you've got to say one thing for me. I let him get out the door. Then I counted a fast 3 and strolled over to her table. May I join you?
I wish you would.
What are you drinking?
Rye and water.
Waiter.
Yes, sir?
Rye and water and a scotch.
Yes.
At last.
At last, what?
What? Foolish girl. We meet.
It's only a day and a half that you've been giving me the once-over. Not so lightly.
Well, we've wasted a day and a half of our lives.
You say the right things, Mr.
Let's just get acquainted. Names can come later.
You know what?
What?
You say the right things.
You said that before.
It's worth repeating.
Her name, as a matter of fact, and just to keep the record straight, was Anne. Anne Brissy, I think it was. She was blonde. Kind that likes to drink. I didn't discourage her. By the time we got up on the boat deck, Annie was beginning to feel the motion of the ship.
Harry.
How you feeling?
Kiss me.
You're feeling fine.
Oh, Harry. That was dreamy.
You better just keep holding on, huh?
It's all right with me, dream man. Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Got something to confess to you.
Bet I can guess what it is. You're not married to that guy you were fighting with.
Oh, no. I'm married to him, all right. You wouldn't think so, but... No. I wanted to confess something else. I've had too much to drink, Harry. How about you?
Oh, I've had too much of that moon.
What do you mean?
Look, a few more days it'll be full, and then I don't know what'll happen to me.
I just hope I'm around when it does, Harry. My, you're romantic.
Occasionally, honey, occasionally. When I have the time.
Say, what made you think I wasn't married?
Stupidity, huh? I saw you quarreling all over the boat. Should have known you were.
Yeah. You'd think that after a guy spends 5 years in jail...
In jail?
Yes. Yes, I shouldn't have told you that, should I, Harry? I wouldn't, except I had too much.
Forget it, honey. So will I. We're friends, aren't we? And that moon's nudging me again.
Oh, Harry, I love your kisses.
Now, don't tell me your troubles, Annie. Let's just be friends, hmm?
If you're a friend, you should want to listen to me.
You've got a point.
Why shouldn't I tell you? Oh, nice. Joe just got out. And we're heading for Honolulu to try to find his old pal, Ed Jameson. They pulled a job together. Joe was caught, but Jameson got away with $75,000 in jewels.
That's very interesting.
Keep it to yourself, Harry.
Oh, sure.
Joe's very suspicious and he can be mean.
My middle name is Mum.
Joe will find him. He had him traced to Honolulu. Jameson was always a sucker for warm weather.
5 years is a long time. Jameson must have cashed in those jewels by now.
They're still hot. And Jameson is a very cautious character. Want to see a picture of him?
Of who?
Ed Jameson.
Sure.
Open my purse.
Well, I not only looked at the picture of Ed Jameson, I also transferred it from her purse to my pocket. She was probably frightened because of what she'd spilled and didn't want to bump into me, so I didn't see her for the rest of the trip, but I'll tell you the truth, I didn't much care. I wasn't bored anymore. I had an interest in life. When we got to Honolulu, I didn't waste any time taking in the sights. I knew Joe Brissy wasn't wasting any either. And first come, first served.
No, I never seen this man's face before.
Well, take another look.
I looking.
You're positive now?
Sure. He never in my barber shop. Sure not.
Well?
No recognize. But I sell to so many people and face. I remember merchandise they buy, no face.
I checked with I don't know how many people and places, but Ed Jameson didn't get around much, apparently. I was beginning to wonder if this wasn't a wild goose chase. The fifth night of my search, I was resting my tired legs in my hotel room and thinking despondently of $75,000 worth of jewels when... come in?
Harry Lime?
That's right.
I guess you know me.
Well, I've seen you, but I wouldn't say I know you.
Stop playing games, kiddo.
I said I don't.
I'm Joe Brissy, the husband of the babe you got tight with on the boat.
It's a habit of mine to get tight with wives. Which husband are you? I mean, which wife was yours?
A wise guy, huh? Listen, you. I carry a gun and I'm a nervous guy.
Interesting, but not important. Why tell me?
In asking around for Jameson, I heard somebody else was asking, too. And I know Ann talks too much when she drinks too much.
So you twisted her arm?
In a manner of speaking. See this?
Is it a gun, Papa?
You'll stop looking for Ed Jameson or one of these little slugs will get in your way.
I see. I do have some dope on Jameson. Cut me in, I'll tell you.
I won't cut you in and you'll tell me.
Only if you cut me in, oh boy.
There's a silencer on this gun, Lime. And I'm counting till 3. 1, 2...
You really would shoot me. Okay, old man. Yesterday he was seen surfboard riding in front of the Royal Hawaiian Hotel.
You lied through your teeth, kiddo. Jameson has a bad ticker. He can no more ride a surfboat than you can pull a fast one on me. Now listen here, Mr. Lime. Remember what I said. Lay off or you'll be a man with a bullet hole through his head.
Joe Brissy's remark that Jameson had a bad heart gave me an idea. I began checking hospitals and doctors, and then, one afternoon... Are you the nurse in charge?
Yes, what can I do for you?
If you'll take a look at my badge.
The FBI?
We're checking on someone. We only have his photograph to go by. Here it is.
I know who he is, was. Died here several months ago. Heart attack.
No.
He left a wife and stepdaughter.
Do you know where they live?
Yes, or at least we probably have a record of their address. They run a rooming house on King Street. If you'll wait a moment, I'll get it for you.
Yes?
I'm looking for a room, and I happen to see your sign outside.
Won't you step in?
Oh, thank you.
My mother does all the renting.
I'll have to see what's available.
I'm disappointed in you.
What do you mean?
Well, I was hoping you'd speak pidgin English. I'm getting to like it.
I apologize. But 4 years at the university here have knocked it out of me.
Well, occasionally a man gets bored even with charming pidgin English. I like yours.
Are you in the islands for vacation?
No, for my health.
You don't look sick.
I'm not. But I want to go on being healthy.
How long are you staying?
It all depends.
Oh?
Depends on whether you let me take you to dinner every night of every day.
Say, you don't let any grass grow under your feet.
Well, life is short at the longest. Am I right?
My mother would like you.
If she's your mother, I'd like her, too. Where is she?
On the island of Hawaii. Our family is having a luau, and I'm joining them tomorrow.
What's a luau?
I forgot you knew here. It's a feast.
Well, now, isn't Mauna Loa erupting on Hawaii?
Yes, but our family doesn't live near the volcano.
You're part of Hawaii, aren't you?
My father was Scotch. That makes me a hapahoala. That means half and half.
Well, if every girl was a hapawala, all I can say is what a stunning world we'd have.
Take it easy. Or I might accept your invitation to dinner.
If I say something, will you be angry?
Yes?
I'll say it anyway. You are the most beautiful girl I have ever seen. Are you engaged?
No.
Married?
No.
Boyfriend?
Several.
And those earrings you're wearing, they don't spoil the scenery either.
Oh, they're only imitation.
Naturally. I wouldn't expect them to be rubies or anything like that.
Though they do cost a few dollars.
You don't say.
Uh-huh.
Well, now that we're all friends, let me introduce myself. I'm Harry Lime.
I'm Moana Burns.
Pleased to meet you.
Likewise.
Moana. Were you named after...
Yes, Mauna Loa. That's right.
All right, give me a volcano every time. But I'll take you and leave Mauna Loa to the sightseers.
But Mauna Loa is much more exciting than I am.
Impossible.
Let me pay you a compliment, too. Renting you a room is a positive delight.
Don't answer it.
Business is business.
And fun?
I still haven't accepted your invitation to dinner. What can I do for you?
I want to rent a room.
Come in, please.
Sure.
If you two gentlemen will just wait here, I'll go upstairs and see what we have.
You didn't take my warning seriously, did you, kiddo?
Can't a man look for a room?
When he's living in a hotel?
It's too expensive.
Funny that you should just happen to pick the family Jameson was married to.
Yeah, I see you have all the information.
All of it, kiddo. And now here's where your information won't do you a bit of good.
I'd put that gun away if I were you, Mr. Brissy.
But you ain't me, Mr. Lime.
That girl's had a good look at you.
I'll take care of her. In the meantime, so long. Forever, kiddo.
This is a rooming house. People are around.
I don't hear them. They won't hear me. As I once told you, there's a silencer on this gun. Let go! Why you...
What's going on here? What are you doing with that gun, Mr. Lime?
It happens to be his. I just removed it from him against his will. Get up, Mr. Brissy.
What?
What happened?
Well, as soon as you left, this character began mumbling to himself. Before I knew it, he'd whipped out this gun, put it to his head. Mister, what do you want to commit suicide for? You're a fool. Don't you know there's as much to worry about down there as up here? Now beat it before I call the cops. Next time you think you have trouble, ask the first person you meet about theirs. Poor chap. What's the matter, Moana?
Oh, I don't know. Just seen that gun and...
Oh, he'll be all right. Tell you what, let's have lunch together, too. I'm starved.
All right.
Is there room for me? I want to wash up.
Room 210, upstairs to the left.
How much?
$2 a day.
Make it 3. I'm happy.
2. But I'll order an extra dessert.
Fair enough. And, Moana.
Yes?
Get that look of fear out of your eyes. It's all over now. Besides, I like my girls to look happy.
Orson Welles returns in just a moment as the third man.
From January 4th, 1952, Orson Welles, The Lives of Harry Lime on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now more of The Lives of Harry Lime, The Third Man, starring Orson Welles, as it was originally broadcast January 4th, 1952, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Whenever you're ready, Moana. I sat down and lit a cigarette. Suddenly I had a funny feeling. Moana? No answer. Went through the apartment fast. No Moana. I rushed outside just in time to see her get in a cab with a suitcase and drive off. She probably suspected something, but as long as she had what I was sure was in her grip, I didn't care. As luck would have it, there wasn't a cab around, but finally... Hey, taxi! To the waterfront. And roll it. I'll pay for speed.
We're rolling, mister. Hang on.
Is there a boat leaving for Hawaii?
The Flying Fish. But I don't think you'll catch him. I think he gone already. Maybe not, though.
When's the next boat?
Tomorrow.
When we pulled up to the pier, the Flying Fish was 100 yards away and picking up steam. I could swim, but not that fast.
You just miss him.
The boat is a her.
You want to go to Hawaii, eh?
That's the general idea.
Uh-huh.
A cab doesn't ride on water, does it?
Airplane goes there soon.
Okay, Buster. To the airport. The plane wasn't leaving for a few hours, but it had still beat the Flying Fish to Hawaii with plenty of time to spare. I spent the afternoon being careful and staying out of sight. Didn't want to tangle with Joe Brissy again. The plane was crowded. Everybody wanted to see Mauna Loa in eruption. I sat back in my seat, watched the blue-green ocean below. Someone up front moved, and there was something about his movement. Yes, it was Joe Brissy. He pretended to be asleep. And I knew then that this character would have to be taken care of. I was first off the plane, managed to give Joe the slip, hired a car, and drove to near the pier where I waited for the Flying Fish to dock. Sure enough, Moana was on it. She was met by a handsome Hawaiian woman, probably her mother. They drove off, and I followed at a safe distance. When we arrived at the beach, the family luau was in full swing.
Harry.
Oh, weren't we having lunch together? I was angry with you, but then I said, forgive and forget, so I forgave. But I couldn't forget, so here I am.
You came just to see me?
What else would I come here for?
I'm sorry I ran off like that, Harry. That man got me all unstrung, and I wanted to be near my folks.
Well, that's understandable.
So, will you forgive me again, please?
I'd forgive you again without a please. What are we waiting for?
For you to take me in your arms.
That's the easiest thing I've ever done in all my life. The easiest by far.
Harry.
Yes, baby.
Don't talk so much.
I get you.
Harry.
Mm-hmm.
I could really like you.
You scare me.
Why?
What would happen if you really went for me?
Moana?
Oh, meet a friend of mine, Uncle.
Then you are welcome, sir. And even if you are not a friend of Moana's, but a friend of the people, you are welcome too.
Oh, thank you.
Come, we will give you to eat. So many good things. Pig wrapped in palm leaves and roasted in the ground. Fish, fruits, and okeluha.
That's what we call liquor.
No, I accept your invitation, but first I want to go back to Ilo and get some okeluha to bring to your luau.
But that is not necessary. We have too much now.
I feel better, though. I'd really like to bring you some. Don't you want me to feel good?
All right. All right.
Get in. I'll drive you.
Oh, I don't want to take you away from your folks, Moana.
I know where all the liquor stores are in Hilo.
Well, I can ask, can't I?
Besides, I want to be with you. Come on, get in. You should have called instead of renting a car.
I was too anxious to see you.
Always be that way for me, Harry.
How?
Anxious. Look in the mirror, Harry.
Oh, that car.
Yes, that man at the wheel. It's the same man who tried to shoot himself.
Looks like him at that. Step on it.
What's he doing here?
Maybe he has it in for me and followed me. You never can tell with these people. And the same to you.
John, Harry!
Oh, I'm only doing unto him as he would do unto me.
No, hold on. There's a sharp turn ahead.
He won't be following us anymore. Flat tire.
I think we should report him.
Tomorrow. Tonight, let's enjoy ourselves. Hey, you just passed a liquor store.
Did I?
Where are you going?
I don't really know, Harry.
Stop the car.
No.
Stop it, I said. All right, let's hear it. What's the idea?
My suitcase in the back of this car is the idea, Harry.
Oh. So you saw me put it there, huh?
Yes. And the man who followed us. He was after the same thing. When you both fought in my house, I didn't believe your story.
Why not? It was a good story.
You said you were a tourist. A tourist doesn't carry a gun.
Moana, the trouble with you is you have a suspicious nature.
Hanging around with Harry Lime, I would too. The Lives of Harry Lime, January 4th, 1952, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now, the conclusion of The Lives of Harry Lime, the prequel to the Third Man motion picture, January 4th, 1952.
Hey, where are you going?
To look at the moon. There's a beautiful view on the cliff here. Come out of the car, Harry.
Okay, honey. I'm as romantic as the next, I guess. But listen, honey, where do you stand about the jewels?
Oh, Harry, I don't care about the jewels. Look at the moon.
It's a great moon, kid. I don't know when I saw a better one, but $75,000 worth of... Hey, that's the brake off. The car's moving.
Harry, don't try to stop it. You can't. You can't, Harry. It's 1,000-foot drop to the sea.
Phew. That was a close one. I almost went over with it.
But you managed to save...
I managed to save this. At the risk of my life, I grabbed at the back seat, and this is what I came up with. A half bottle of scotch. Hey, you didn't tell me about the scotch.
You didn't tell me about the jewels.
Now they're all at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean.
That's all right. The car's probably insured.
Oh, the car's probably insured, so everything's fine, isn't it? Well, what about the jewels? We can't just stand here.
All right, let's sit down.
Moana, honey, $75,000 of your money, it was as good as money, just fell into the sea.
But it wasn't mine anymore. You'd take it.
Sure, but we could have worked something out.
Sit down, Harry. Here, next to me, and stop worrying. The trouble with you is you haven't been long enough on these islands.
What happens if I stay?
See the part of the moon, Harry, sparkling on the water? Those are the real jewels. A lot more real than those other things.
You know what I think? I think you slipped that brake intentionally. I think you're just crazy enough to do it.
I hated them. Really, I did. My stepfather only told my mother about them the day before he died. And then we would have turned them in, except that we were afraid. We didn't know what to do. We didn't want to bring shame on his head. He had been good to us.
Well, your stepfather was a crook, honey.
Not in his heart. In his heart, he was a good man. Like you. Oh, Harry, I wanted us to go on liking each other. That's why I let the car slide off the cliff.
Honey, $75,000 wouldn't make me like you any less.
But you...
Okay. I haven't been on the islands long enough.
Don't you think you ought to kiss me, Harry?
Either that or toss you in after the car.
Oh, Harry.
I'll settle for the kiss. But first, give me some of that scotch. I need it.
To give you courage to kiss me?
No, to cheer me up after the shock of losing all that dough.
Harry, look at the moon. Look at me. We're the real things, not money. Money can't buy you health or happiness.
No, but I like to have it around so I can choose the type of misery that's most agreeable to me. Okay, Moana, I know. I know when I'm licked.
And now, Harry Lime.
You know, sometimes when I see the moonlight reflected on the sea, I find myself thinking about Moana. She believed that gold is where you find it. That's one thing on which we both agree. The only difference is that I've made a career out of looking for it in the most unlikely places.
The Lives of Harry Lime, one of two great radio series produced by Harry Allen Towers, starring Orson Welles. The other one, The Black Museum. And we will get some episodes of The Black Museum for you here, hopefully, this year. January 4th, 1952, The Lives of Harry Lime. Cherchez La Gem, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Let's close out this hour of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox with part 3 of the 5-part Yours Truly Johnny Dollar story, The Caylin Matter. This originally broadcast January 4th, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
This is Reynosa, L.A. Police.
Oh, hiya, Sergeant. Any luck?
Nothing. This Topo Leanley boy's been in jams before. He's a tough cookie, and we don't scare him a bit.
What's his story?
Says he was walking through the courtyard of the apartment house when you jumped him from the bushes.
Oh.
Claims he thought it was a stick-up and fired that shot at you in self-defense.
What was he doing there in the first place?
Calling on a girlfriend, only she'd given him the wrong address.
Sure.
Well, we can hold him overnight for carrying a concealed weapon, but that's about all, Johnny. He'll make bail in the morning.
Well, fine, let him. Things aren't adding up, and it's got him worried. He's afraid he's being double-crossed, and he's fighting mad about it. On the loose, maybe he'll be a help to us.
How?
Maybe he can find Eddie Caylin.
What are you talking about? Eddie Caylin's downtown in the morgue on a marble slab.
Sergeant, want to bet?
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. From Special Investigator Johnny Dollar, location Los Angeles, to the Home Office, Trinity Mutual Insurance Company Limited, Hartford, Connecticut. Assignment, The Caylin Matter. Expense account continued. I was following a hunch, one that had started when Sergeant Reynosa said the police found the door of the Caylin apartment locked on the night of Eddie's death, locked with a key. And now the hunch was stronger. The way Leanley had acted, Topo Leanley, the gambler from whom Eddie had won $60,000 that night. Things like Lila Caylin had said about her husband, they all added up. But it was still only a hunch, not proof. And proof I had to have. And at the moment, the only chance I could see of getting it was to backtrack on Eddie Caylin. His hangouts, his contacts, his missing friend, Pete Steimer, his movements during the hours before his car was found blazing at the bottom of a canyon in Palos Verdes. In a way, what I had to do was bring him back to life. Expense account item 6, $14.10. Transportation 2 and incidentals at a dim little hole-in-the-wall bar out on Santa Monica Boulevard called the Cafe Eloines. It was an out-of-the-way clip joint dedicated to the mood Caribbean, complete with palm fronds, drinks, and coconut shells, and a lovely little hostess with a beautifully developed and well-rounded Latin accent.
You would like a nice table, amigo?
Oh, this one's fine. But I would like a nice talk. Sit down, honey. Let's get acquainted.
Well, maybe for a few minutes. My name is Pepita.
Of course. What else? I'm Johnny Dollar.
That's a funny name.
Oh, I'm a funny guy.
Will you buy me a drink?
Is that the gimmick here?
Gimmick?
Well, what do you order? A champagne cocktail?
See.
For which I pay $2. It's made with 10 cents worth of sauterne. You get a $1 kickback. Isn't that the way it's played?
Are you with the Vice Squad?
No, forget it. Relax. Hey, look. I'll do better than buy you a drink. What are you doing after you're through here?
No dates. When I quit work here, I go straight home, amigo. And I live with my mother.
Oh, well, that's a very good arrangement. Cheaper that way for both of you. But here's $10. What I want from you is some information. About a customer who comes in here a lot, or used to anyway. Eddie Caylin. You know him?
You are not the police, or you would not give me $10 just for talking. Sure, I know Eddie. What you want to know about him?
When did you see him last?
On Thursday, the day before he was killed.
How did he act? What did he say? Anything out of the ordinary?
He said he loved me madly, passionately, devotionally. And if I do not love him too, he will kill himself. Just like ordinary. He was lying, of course. But he always was such exciting to listen. Then he buy me champagne cocktail and borrow from me the money to pay for it.
Quite a boy.
Que hombre. He was, how you say, he was the most.
Yeah. How long was he in here that night?
Quien sabe? 1 hour, perhaps?
By himself?
No. With his amigo, with Pete.
Pete Steimer, huh?
Yes.
Have you seen Pete since then?
No. I do not think nobody has seen him.
What do you think's happened to him?
Who knows? Maybe he is too sad for Eddie dying. So he is hide out someplace all by himself.
Well, it's a theory. Did Eddie seem worried that night?
No.
Scared?
No, not scared.
Nothing special on his mind, apparently.
No, just like always. Just like Eddie. You know.
No, I never met him.
Oh? Then why you ask this question?
Oh, just a routine business matter. What about women?
Women?
Yeah, other girlfriends of Eddie's. Next to you, of course.
Oh, next to me. With Eddie, every girl was first.
Well, what about the nightclub here? Any of them come in here, work here?
Oh, Eddie was too smart for that. In each one place, only one girl. That way, no trouble. Eddie was smart.
Yeah, he was the most.
See.
What about girls in other places around town? Do you know any of them?
No, I do not know any, but...
But you've heard rumors.
Well, there is a place which is called the Brass Monkey.
Ah, yeah.
They have girls there which, how you say it, they take off some clothes and go jump around with the music.
Strippers?
Yes, strippers. Well, somebody is always make jokes with me about one of those strippers. They say Eddie has had the big thing with her. They think to make me mad, but there's no difference to me. I know how Eddie is.
Do you know the girl's name?
The very silly name, which she has make up. It's Marty Midnight.
Marty Midnight.
She has black hair like me, but mine is natural black.
Oh, yeah, sure. I figured as much. It's very beautiful.
Muchas gracias, Johnny.
Well, thanks for some pleasant conversation.
You are leaving now?
Yeah, why?
But maybe you will come back. No?
I wasn't planning to.
At 1 o'clock, I am through working. If you will come back... No?
No. We wouldn't want to worry your poor old mother, would we? Keep her waiting up.
What are you talking about? My mother is living in Havana, Cuba.
Expense account item 7, $23.40. More transportation and some more of those incidentals. This time at the Brass Monkey Inn. That name had come up twice now. Eddie Caylin's widow had mentioned it first. So I figured I'd better have a look at it. The Eloines had been a fairly quiet place, dimly lighted, with a big play on that mystery of the jungle routine. But the Brass Monkey was a pony of a different tint. At the Brass Monkey, they let down their hair and really lived. The chorus line was on and at it when I arrived, and strangely enough, the girls were all dolls, pert, young, lively. 7 of them from left to right. But not one of the 7 had midnight black hair. I leaned against the service bar and waited for the bartender to come down out of the clouds and notice me. And he finally did.
Oh, sorry, Buster. Just couldn't see you for looking at you.
Oh, that's all right. Who'd bother with a customer at a time like this?
Another art lover. Man, I'll tell you true, there is the cream of the crop. 7 shining sisters. The Pleiades, brother. The absolute up-top zenith of the entire ecclesiastic firmament. What do you have to drink?
Scotch. Over ice.
Checo. I read a lot. That's where I get all them big words. Always try to better myself. Get ahead, man. That's the thing.
Yes, so I've heard.
So I read all the time. And I got a system, too, a shortcut. You know all them books you see around? You know what they're full of?
Well, opinions vary.
Words. And you know where they get them? From the dictionary. So I don't mess around. I go right to headquarters. The only book I read is the dictionary.
You what?
Sure. Read it through twice. And now I'm clear up to J on the 3rd time around. You know what a joss house is?
Yeah, that's a Chinese temple. I think I need that drink now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Buster. Here you are. Say, you're pretty smart yourself.
Oh, I'm a pedant.
Pedant. That's with a P. Nah, Nah, I won't get to that for another 3 months. That's $1 even for the drink.
Here you go. Keep the change.
Well, thanks. Hey, this is a 20 you give me.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I see. Well, Buster, the answer is no. I can't fix you up with one of the girls.
All I want is some information.
Like what?
Like, where is Marty Midnight this evening?
Oh, that I wouldn't know. She hasn't been around since, well, not for the last 4 or 5 nights.
Since Eddie Caylin was murdered? Is that what you're about to say?
Police?
Insurance investigator. The company I represent issued a policy on him.
Eddie Caylin with insurance?
Yeah, he took it out about 2 months ago.
Who's the beneficiary?
His wife.
Well, I never met the gal, but I guess she's got something common. She must have took quite a beating off of Eddie. Man, that cat could really operate.
So I gather. You happen to know where Marty lives?
Nah, she moved a few weeks ago, after she took up with Eddie. I don't even know her real name.
Hey, is the manager here?
I'm the manager, Buster. I hired him, fired him, and in between, just look at him. Oh, man, what a life.
Do you know a friend of Eddie's named Pete Steimer?
Sure I know. He hasn't been around either.
Disappeared that same night, huh?
Yeah, that was a bad night all around. There was another guy dropped out of sight, too. A hood named Mike Kelso, one of Topo Leanley's boys.
Do you know Topo?
He comes in all the time. He's, Hey, wait a minute. You must be the cat that broke his arm. Well, congratulations, felicitations, and happy days. I'll have a drink myself on that.
Real popular boy.
Oh, the most. I understand he got his start by leaning out of his baby carriage and shoving his mother under a car.
Was he in here that night?
Well, sure. That's where Eddie met him. I told Eddie to stay clear of that game. Was I right?
And you think that's why he was killed, for the $60,000 he won that night?
Buster, that's the type of question I never answer. And that's exactly why I stay so healthy.
Well, you don't have to answer. That's where all the logic points. Eddie met Topo Leanley in here that night and was invited into one of Leanley's big-time poker games. Eddie was lucky, plenty lucky, and Leanley got hit hard. He decided he wouldn't stand still for it, so he and his muscle man, Mike Kelso, went around to Eddie's apartment, beat him up, got the $60,000, took Eddie out to the Palos Verdes Hills, ran him off the cliff, and set fire to his car.
Any reason why it couldn't have happened like that?
No. But there are a lot of loose ends. Like what has happened to Pete Steimer and Marty Midnight?
Scared silly, hiding out.
Mike Kelso.
Same thing. He's sweating it out, waiting to see which way the wind blows. Or there's whispers around that he double-crossed Topo and ran out with the dough.
Could be. But I keep remembering that door.
What door?
To Eddie's apartment. It was left locked with a key.
So what's it got to do with everything? Uh-oh, the police. I'm raided again. Hey, Red, dump that water, bar, whiskey down a sink. Jackie, get back there and tell the girls to cover up. Take it easy, you cats. Just keep your seats. Everything is copacetic.
Relax. It's not a raid. That's Sergeant Reynosa. He's handling the Caylin case.
Buster, a cop's a cop no matter what he's handling. Now shake it up, Red. Turn on that water in the sink and dump it all in.
What the devil are you doing here, Johnny?
Having a drink? What's up, Sergeant?
I'm looking for a girl who's supposed to work here named Marty Midnight.
So am I. What's your reason?
Suspicion of murder.
What?
The guy was killed in her apartment about an hour ago. The neighbors heard the shots. And it's real crazy, Johnny. It just can't be, but it is. We got a fast check on the fingerprints. You know who the guy was?
Sure. It was Eddie Caylin.
Now, here's our star to tell you about tomorrow's intriguing episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow, a stakeout, a manhunt, and a tired intern breaking his heart to keep life in a broken body. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by Les Crutchfield, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
The case gets curiouser and curiouser. That is part 3 of the 5-part yours truly, Johnny Dollar story, The Caylin Matter, from January 4th, 1956, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. A reminder, my friend Ted at RadioMemories.com has all sorts of great classic radio programs available for you on cassette, CD, or flash drive for your computer. Check out Ted at RadioMemories.com. That's RadioMemories.com. Also, a reminder to come visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. Stream our shows. Learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me there. You can find our social media links. And if you're so inclined, you can buy me a copy. The Buy Me a Coffee money doesn't buy me coffee. No, it helps us acquire additional classic radio collections to bring you here on your favorite station. And it helps keep our distribution channels up and running. Have yourself a great day. Thank this station, support their advertisers, but most importantly, tell your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.